We want to prevent route announcements from black holing traffic, starting with 9.6. Prior to 9.6, we didn't really have a good way to do this. There were some clunky ways to use IP SLA to turn off subnet sharing or change the VRP. There were some things you could do. We needed something that would allow us to dynamically withdraw or poison specific routes, something more selective. Secondly, provide a really nice at-a-glance view. The route label itself ends up being a really interesting indication of the overall status of a given subsystem. But this is the fundamental thing that route labels solve. So this is a basic deployment. You've got a pair of hubs. They both lead to the internet, and we've got an MPLS private network at the bottom. The branch locations do not have direct internet access in this contrived situation. Each one of these branches has to backhaul across the MPLS through one of these hubs to get to the internet. What we're going to do is add an announce-only route 0000/0 metric 50 to both hubs. Now the branches will ECMP across both hubs, and you'll get nice ECMP internet local breakout behavior, and everything is pretty happy. You'll notice that each branch, of course, has two different routes from both hub 1 and hub 2 with the same metric and the same prefix. But what happens if hub 1 loses its internet connection but doesn't lose its MPLS connection? Now you're going to black hole traffic because unless you're doing BGP or you have some other mechanism for saying, all right, I can't reach the internet, therefore I probably shouldn't send 0000/0 metric 50 into the fabric. Of course, route labels solve this problem quite elegantly. You bound the 0000 metric 50 to the route label internet. The route label internet is bound to the local breakout automation. So if all of the local breakout connections labels are down simultaneously on hub 1, then we will withdraw the 0000 route from all the branches. Problem solved. Even if you're BGP or OSPF via IGP on the LAN side, you can see how you can set it up in different ways to withdraw that default. Upgrades and new deployments are shipped with one single label of internet. It's automatically selected for local breakout. Of course, it doesn't do anything by default. All labels are available on all appliances. I mentioned that. If you delete a route label, it doesn't delete the IP SLA rule it's associated with or the static route it's associated with. It just doesn't do anything. If you delete the route label, it will just unselect the route label from the IP SLA rule and from the static route, and they'll just for instance, if you delete the label and that label was currently suppressing the static route by putting it in a down state, when you delete the label, the static route's just going to go into upstate because now it's just going to default to the behavior that we had prior to version 9.6 and route labels themselves.